Hey, everybody, we're on the last hurrah for this painting. I'm picking up where I left off. I worked on it a little bit after I had left you guys last time. So I've pre-mixed a lot of my colors. I think the thing that I really wanted to work on, I modified the shape of the picture. It's just really more in line with what it is, but I liked the other shape that I had before, so I'm going to kind of try to bring it back to something a little bit more like that. And I'm sorry for getting in front of the camera here, but it's not going to be so much in alignment with the what you're actually seeing, and that's just my choice today to do that. So I've got my brushes here and my paper towel. Again, I said I've mixed all my colors. I need a little bit more white out here. And I don't know if I mentioned, but I put 2 passes of white, one that I use with cool colors and one that I use with warmer colors. And that's just to help keep the white clean. So overall, I like it. I like the composition and actually the color palette. As I've had time to sort of just sit with it. So I'm going to start working on the picture a little bit with some of the shadow parts on the side to try to expand that area of the shape out a little bit more, make it a little bit more round in here, in this area right here. Just going to try to do that. Get a little bit more roundness. And then I'm going to need to do that a little bit on the other side. And these little modifications, you don't often need a lot to change the appearance of something. Just sometimes it's just a really very soft addition of color that makes the change. I know I used to always estimate what I needed to do, and I still can do that. I'm still learning that often it's just a really subtle stroke that can make the difference. So that's just something to keep in mind, something that I've learned over time. And I think even just those 2 little things help a lot with sort of, in my view, how I'm envisioning the shape of this picture. I like it better like that. So I'm just going to put a little bit more of the gray in. And I think what I want to throw in here is some turquoise. That's just something that came to me, just to throw in some turquoise in the gray. I think this gray has a lot of blue in it, and it's nice to just add in some other hues sometimes to add variety and character, so it's not just one flat color. A little darker down here towards the table. And I think the other thing that I want to do is make an adjustment to the blue shadows around the base of the lemons. They definitely are a little bit too dark. So that will be the next step. And that's why it's good to take pauses with your work, because you can see things afterwards that you don't necessarily see at various stages when you're so close to the painting, and sort of get immersed in it. So it helps to step back, give yourself a couple days. You can start something else or not, but just to step back and let the piece sort of speak to you to a degree. So these, when I looked at it, I was like, oh wow, they're way too dark, at least for too much contrast. It's not it wasn't working for me. They kind of became, were attracting too much attention, sort of. So I'm just gonna lighten those up a bit. And it's kind of nice to have the darker underneath, even a little bit of that showing. And the other thing I wanted to modify a bit was the, like the centers of the lemons, and they're kind of I don't know, I mean, I could go with the green, maybe, that's what I'll do. They're kind of like a yellow, purple maybe. Excuse me. But for today, I'm just going to throw in a little bit of green because these are pretty intense with the blue. I'm going to throw in a little turquoise in here too to carry that in a little bit. Just softens it a tad. And then I think I also want to bring up the the really subtle rim around the picture's mouth is light, and I'm just gonna kind of put some lights in there. It's not all the same kind of light. There's whiter whites in there, and then more grayed up parts of that rim where the light's not hitting it quite as strongly. So try to get some of those in. And in here, it's a little darker. And then the handle, I hadn't done too much work on the handle, so we definitely have some like reflections in there. A little more warmer. There's some reflection, I think, of the lemon on the handle down in here. The handles, these can be hard for me, the handles. I just do my best to get something close to what I'm seeing. And then I gotta be careful because I can start to overthink things a little bit and then overwork, and that doesn't help anything. But you can see, I think the main thing I want to kind of get across here is you keep developing the painting over time, and you can always come back and make modifications, paint over things as you see them, and then just make a decision for yourself when you think it's done. Like you're just not gonna, you're gonna move on to the next thing. You don't have to get too hung up on it. You're just gonna keep painting. I mean, that's the most important thing, is just to keep at it. Try a different setup, and each time you're gonna learn things about the paint, what you like, what your frustrations are, what areas that you think you want to work on, and you just don't stop learning. And that's one of the great things about this too. There's always something new to learn. And the shadow up in here is kind of dark. Yeah. Okay, and I think I remember saying I wanted to add a little bit more whites in the foreground, maybe some yellows. myself. Let's see, throw in a little yellows in here. I'm not going to do the whole thing like that, but I'm just going to throw some in. I'll bring in more of the pinks. This pink, this is Permanent Rose. It's a very powerful color. It's good for if you paint a lot of flowers. Sometimes you need the, the pre-mixed colors, especially when it comes to flowers, because flowers tend to be so intense. It can be helpful to use like a pre-mixed color. So like, well, for instance, the pink. This is a color that's often in flowers. I'm not sure I'm liking how this is working out here with the yellow. And I'm just going to throw in some white because it's kind of brighter over here. Whoops. It's really hot out today. It's even warm in my basement here. But it's been nice to be able to work on some still life. Because it's just really a little bit too hot to be outside in that sun plein air painting. Okay, I think I might stop here for now. I'll probably continue on a little bit with it, and then I'll take a photograph and include it on the video clip. And if you have any questions, again, just email me at renderedimpressionsart@gmail.com, and I will certainly respond with answers to your questions. And if there's something you'd like to see a video on, you can also contact me with that information as well. All right, everybody. Thank you. Talk to you soon.